In Benin, after its success last year, the city of Ouidah hosted the second edition of the Vodun Days, an event that celebrates Vodun arts, culture, and spirituality, and aims to deconstruct clichés about Vodun, establish Ouidah as its world capital, and transform it into a leading tourist destination in Africa and beyond. However, many followers of Abrahamic religions, such as Christianity, took to social media to express their discontent for its mere existence, with criticism ranging from misunderstanding to outright condemnation. But why does Vodun and African ancestral spirituality are cause for controversy on the continent? Let's dive into it. West African Vodun is a spiritual belief system that predates the arrival of Abrahamic religions. It connects humanity with nature, the ancestors, and the divine. Contrary to popular misconceptions, Vodun is not synonymous with the Haitian, Brazilian, or American versions of voodoo, though these traditions have derived from Vodun with the transatlantic slave trade. Central to Vodun is the concept of interconnectedness, where spirits and deities, often linked to natural elements, serve as intermediaries between humans and a supreme being. The demonization of ancestral African spirituality can be traced back to the narratives crafted by Western travelers and colonizers in the 18th and 19th centuries. They portrayed African religions as primitive and fetishistic, a proxy for their broader narrative of African inferiority. These narratives pushed the idea that African religions were inferior and erased their complexity. But scholars have been uncovering a different perspective. Christopher Ehret, for example, explains that many African traditions, like those of Nilo-Saharan-speaking communities, actually centered around a single supreme god. Spirits were seen as part of this divine system, not as separate gods, challenging the Western misunderstanding of African beliefs as polytheistic. Another perspective, hierarchical monotheism, introduced by Katezua Lumbazandio Luyaluka. Luyaluka shows how many African religions recognize a supreme being at the top, with creators, spirits, and ancestors all connected under this divine structure. Islam's expansion in North and West Africa also shaped local practices. In places like Senegal and Mali, Sufi Islam often blended with African traditions, showing how spiritual systems can evolve together. But African religions have also faced persecution through forced conversions, destruction of sacred sites, and being labeled as evil by both Christian and Muslim communities. Ultimately, African religions have also been misunderstood and sidelined in academic circles, labeled as outdated or even immoral. This bias was highlighted in 1993 when the American Academy of Religion focused on teaching African religions, showing how these beliefs were still undervalued. Recently, there has been a growing movement among Africans to reclaim their spiritual traditions. Across the continent and the diaspora, people are working to reconnect with their heritage and challenge the stories that distorted their beliefs. Events like Vodun Days in Benin celebrate this cultural revival and offer a fresh perspective, pushing back against years of misrepresentation.